Good morning, church family. Sue Buckwalter here. It's time for that children's lesson for our church family here at church and for those who are viewing online. So, boys and girls, dial in and see what the Lord has to say to you today. Moms and dads, pay attention too, because the Lord might be speaking to you through this lesson today as well. So, boys and girls, it's that time of year again. Yes, it is. It's spring, and with spring comes a very favorite special holiday for all of us, Easter. Well, you might have noticed I brought this huge basket full of eggs. Our family likes to do big egg hunts with the kids, and so we've collected a lot of eggs over the years. So I want to tell you today, our lesson is going to be about the very first Easter that ever happened. And I'm going to use eggs as our illustration because in each one of these eggs that I have in my egg carton here, they have something special that has to do with the very first Easter that happened. So this first egg that I have inside of it, I'm going to show you what I have inside of it. Oh, look, it's leaves. Well, these leaves represent palm branches. Now, I couldn't fit a big palm branch in here because that just wouldn't fit. But these represent the palm branches for Palm Sunday, when Jesus came into town on a donkey and people formed a parade for him, and they threw all these branches down and coats and blankets and all kinds of things to praise Jesus. And they were saying, "Hosanna in the highest." And they said all these wonderful things about Jesus. So that's our first egg. Now our second egg has something very special in it as well. And in this egg, I have just this little bottle of perfume. So this bottle of perfume smells super good, and I love perfume. I love something that smells really good. Well, this bottle represents the time when Mary anointed Jesus, and she used her hair to wipe Jesus with her hair, wipe his feet with her hair. And the disciples were so angry when they saw that she had wasted that expensive perfume. And Jesus told them, you don't understand what's going on here. All right, well, let's look at the next one. Oh, this next one's pretty interesting. In it is a bag of crackers. Well, that's an interesting thing for resurrection eggs. We have crackers. These crackers represent the Passover meal, the Last Supper that Jesus had with his disciples in the upper room. And they broke the bread, and Jesus gave thanks, and they passed it around. And this is why we still do communion today, because this represents the Last Supper that Jesus had with his disciples. Now, boys and girls, all these things that I'm sharing come from the New Testament. Some of the parts of the stories come from Matthew and Mark, and different parts are from that. So I'm not quoting all of the Bible verses that go with this because it would take me a really long time. All right, so I want to show you this one. This one is a neat one. Inside of it are 3 dimes. Can you see them? So how much is a dime worth, boys and girls? You got it. It's worth 10 cents. So 10, 20, 30, right? So 3 dimes equal 30 cents. And that 30 reminds me of the 30 pieces of silver that Judas got for betraying Jesus. At the Last Supper, Jesus had said, "One of you will betray me." And you know what? It was Judas who was sitting right there with Jesus at the Last Supper. He betrayed him all for money. He was very greedy. All right, here's the next one. This one is pretty cool, and I really like this one because guess what? It's my favorite color, purple. Well, this one is purple, and it represents the purple robe that they put on Jesus when they were trying to mock him. So they didn't put it on him because they thought it was beautiful or anything. They put it on him to mock him. "Hail, King of the Jews," they said when they put it on him. And as he had this on him, they beat him, they punched him, they spit on him, they hit him in the head when he was wearing this robe as a sign of mockery. The next thing I want to show you is this. This one is quite terrifying. It's thorns. Now these thorns are very, very sharp. If you got one of these thorns stuck in your foot or in your hand or in your leg, it would really, really hurt. They're very long and spiky. So the people who were crucifying Jesus made a crown of thorns for Jesus, and as if it weren't bad enough to put it on his head, they shoved it down on his head. And can you imagine? I can't even imagine having a crown of thorns shoved down on my head, because it would leave some very serious pain in your body. All right, boys and girls, I have some more still yet. This one is a piece of wood, and I'm sure most of you can understand why I put a piece of wood in my resurrection eggs. This one represents the cross that they made Jesus carry. It was made of wood, and he carried that down that long road, and it was very heavy, and this was also after they had beaten him and hurt him so very, very badly, and he carried that cross. And this one, these are nails. Now, they're small, and if you were to poke your skin, they would really hurt. If you got one of these shoved up through your foot or somewhere in your body, it would really, really hurt. And they took these nails and they pounded them into Jesus' hands and crucified him on that cross. And then, as if that weren't bad enough, here's a pair of dice. They took this dice and they rolled it and cast lots. The soldiers cast lots for Jesus' clothing. After he had been crucified, they didn't care. They were like, hey, look, there's some free clothing. Let's see who can get it. And they rolled dice to see who got that. This egg, this was an interesting one. Look at this. Now, this is a cloth. Now, it's a small cloth, but it represents the burial cloth that they put around the body of Jesus. So when Jesus died on that cross, they took him off of the cross and they wrapped his body in a cloth and they put oils on him. That's what they did when they buried someone. And they put his body in the tomb and they had a burial cloth on him. The next one, this one's a fun one. This one's cool. Oh, it's the stones. So these represent the stones that they put in front of the tomb because the people that crucified Jesus were scared that the disciples would come and take Jesus' body out of the tomb and make up a story about Jesus rising from the dead. And so in order to prevent that, they put this big, huge rock. So these are just little rocks, this huge, heavy rock in front of the tomb and sealed the tomb so that nobody could take the body of Jesus out. Well, God can work with anything. And so God probably was in heaven laughing at people over that, like, well, it's just a rock. So God sent an angel down, and that angel rolled that stone away. And this is my favorite egg of all. It's purple also. But my favorite egg of all is this one. And guess what? There's nothing in this egg. And I like this egg the best because this represents the empty tomb. The empty tomb where Jesus, his body was laid. When the women got there to put some more oils on Jesus' body, they saw the stone was rolled away. And the angel said to them, he is not here. He has risen, just as he said. Come see where he lay. And guess what? When the women walked in, Jesus wasn't there because he rose from the dead, just like he told them he would. So boys and girls, as you go about the next couple weeks before Easter, think about these resurrection eggs and the story of Jesus' resurrection and the first Easter. And try not to get caught up in all of those fixings for Easter, the Easter baskets, the dresses, the toys, the Easter candy. Try to focus your mind on that wonderful gift of that empty tomb. All right, kiddos. See you next time. Bye.